This year, we have seen a lot of poor officiating from gaslighting to just missing bad calls, but today I wanted to shed some positive light on the officiating and talk about some interesting observations. In the third, Jason Tatum drives past Nembhard and finishes with his left over Jalen Smith before grabbing his face. Because of this, the Pacers have a 5-on-4 and Nesmith gets fouled. Now looking at the replay, he definitely gets smacked in the face and the ref is just standing there. Tatum yells "and one" and goes to the ref Tyler Ford, pointing at his face. Giannis's favorite ref tells Tatum to not complain, but I love what Tyler Ford did. He went to Tatum and tells him, "There's no technical for arguing," and they go their merry ways. After this, there was not another call missed. In the fourth, it looks like there's a lot of contact between Duarte and Horford, but when you look at the replay, Horford does a good job of staying in front, and Duarte contorts his body to try and sell the contact. Next possession down, Duarte tries to draw body contact on Grant Williams, and Ford doesn't fall for it again and rightfully swallows his whistle. And as Tatum drives into the lane, Nembhard has his arms up, but he clearly gets there too late, so Ford rightfully calls a blocking foul. But more importantly, when I was watching how these refs position themselves for these calls, I noticed two things that I wanted to share with y'all. The first thing is that these refs are in consistent rotation. What I mean by that is that after a shooting foul where someone is going to the line, the refs will rotate position so that they have a different responsibility. After Tatum murders Nesmith, I'm gonna freeze this because Jonathan Sterling, who's number 17, is on the right sideline and Mark Davis is on the baseline. But as Tatum's taking this free throw, now you see that Ford is on the right sideline and the one on the baseline is Sterling, so they all rotated. And 30 seconds later, Tatum gets fouled again, and now you see Mark Davis on the sideline and Ford on the baseline. I found this really interesting because I wonder if other sports had referees rotating this frequently. So I went and watched a football game to see how refs rotated, and it's much less frequent. In the first quarter, you see that number 91 is operating the right sideline and calling any plays that go in that direction. On the Patriots drive, he's still working the same sideline and calls that pass incomplete. In the second quarter, he's still on the same sideline, but he does switch it in the second half. Here in the fourth, you can see a few appearances in the final minutes of the drive, so the rotation happens only once. I'm not saying that the NBA is wrong for doing the way that they do it, but what they're doing is probably unorthodox compared to other sports leagues. The second thing was that if you notice, Ford was on the same side as the play where Tatum gets fouled, and this seems to be a pattern. On LeBron's drive to the rim, the ref closest to the play didn't see anything. On this Curry fast break, the ref is running right next to him and doesn't call it as well. And as you see these clips, you'll see that trend continue. And I wonder if being closer to the play could be difficult because things are happening so fast, or it's just a simple brain lapse. Ford did tell Tatum that he didn't see it, and I bring this up because in the middle of this play, notice how Sterling moves to the opposite baseline to see if he can get a better view. Not only are players trying to anticipate what's going on, but refs are as well. And I wonder if Sterling had a feeling that Mathurin was going to drive right. On the break, Tatum gets fouled, but Mark Davis is calling it from the opposite sideline instead of Tyler Ford, who is right there. Like intuitively, you would think that Ford has a much better angle, but maybe it's a lot harder to process everything when it's just happening right in front of you. But yeah, just wanted to shed some light on some officiating practices. Like and subscribe.